Yes, it is Get Well Wednesday, and our doctor is right here in Hollywood, Florida, where the studios are. And she said, first thing, why am I not in the studio there with Tank? I'm just down the street. Dr. Dannette, author, and the topic is the dangers of vaping. She's a board certified in addiction medicine and internal medicine, one of the first in the country to have this title. And good morning, doctor. The topic today is vaping.
Good morning. Yes, it is. How's everyone this morning?
Everything's good. Everything's good. Now, vaping is in the news and how it's poisoning the lungs, and people are dying and getting
That's right. As a matter of fact, Tom, as of November 5th, 39 people have died as a result of vaping, and we've had about over 2,000 cases of lung injury as a result of vaping.
Okay, first of all, explain the difference between vaping and e-cigarettes.
Well, actually, vaping is a verb. It just means to inhale any type of fume or liquid. And an e-cigarette is just a tool that's used for vaping.
Okay.
So it could be the e-cigarette, it could be the hookah, it could be a vape pen or a Juul. All of these you use to vape or inhale a liquid.
Okay.
And they're all dangerous because if you think about what they are, it's a heating element, it has a reservoir to hold liquid, and it has a power source. So basically what you're doing is you're inhaling a heated liquid. And the fact that the liquid is heated in itself is a danger to the lungs.
Now, is there any safe vaping? Because I've seen reports that they're adding things to to these pens and such, these e-cigarettes that are not good, like chemicals.
Right, and the danger is that in vaping and e-cigarettes, Tom, is that because people think that they're safer, they tend to use them more, and the volume of these heated liquids that are going to the lungs is causing a lot of problems also. For instance, they found a lot of vitamin E in some of the chemicals that they're using to add to these e-cigarettes. Well,
is it the same vitamin E that we take normally, or that we
exactly
in pill form?
It's in a different form, but it's still vitamin E. It's liquefied vitamin E. And vitamin E in itself is good for you, but when you put in these liquid elements and you inhale them, then it's dangerous to the lungs. It's like boiling water. I mean, water in itself is good for you, but if you inhale very hot water, it's going to be damaging to the trachea and the lungs as it goes down. So that in itself makes it dangerous. Besides the fact that a lot of the chemicals are dangerous that people are inhaling, they're adding marijuana now to the e-cigarettes, so now people are inhaling marijuana as well as nicotine and other dangerous chemicals.
Well, what about a bong? Is that dangerous too?
Again, it's the fumes and that liquid that's going into the lungs, so that makes it dangerous.
And you say hookahs are also dangerous for you, huh?
You know what? When it comes to hookahs and using nicotine, we find that in 1 hour, you probably take about 200 puffs.
Wow.
Whereas if you had a cigarette, it's only 20 puffs. So even if you have less nicotine in the hookah, because you're using it longer, most people go to the lounges and they're just using them casually, and you don't realize how much fumes you're putting into your lungs because you think it's safer. And it's very sociable. That's the problem with e-cigarettes. You know, if you have a cigarette in a restaurant or in public, it's no longer fashionable. But using hookahs and e-pens, it kind of looks cool, and they're made to look cool.
Doctor, the really frightening thing has been the story last week, and as we're seeing, especially amongst young people, there was I think he was like 16, 18 years old and had a double lung transplant.
What?
That's right. That was the first double lung transplant, Sybil, as a result of e-cigarettes. And he did let everyone know this is what happened to me because I used e-cigarettes. As a matter of fact, one of the concerns that we have are that the young people and teens are using e-cigarettes more so than adults. And they're so discreet that you don't know they're using them. There are young people that are vaping in school and no one knows it because they look like a USB stick or they look like a regular ink pen, some of them. So that's a problem that we're having also with teens and young people.
What about cigar smoke?
Yeah.
Dangerous, leads to more oral cancer. Again, you have this smoke and fumes that are going mainly in the mouth. And some people say they don't inhale, but it's entering the mouth, the oral cavity, and there's still oral cancer. So they're dangerous also.
Could you say that to the man who is a cigar smoking club member?
And we are talking about...
Guy Torrey.
All right, Guy. We'll talk later.
Will it stunt your growth?
Let me put this cigar out right now. No.
So, regular cigarettes are better than vaping.
No, we don't want to give. we don't want to give that idea. Listen,
rolling weed is better than vaping weed.
You know what? One is a slow death and one is a quick death.
Wow.
We'll put it that way. But they're both
One is
dangerous.
marriage. Okay.
You know, we just don't have enough. We don't have enough research on the long-term effects of e-cigarettes at this point. So we're still doing a lot of research, but we're encouraging. Tomorrow's the Great American Smokeout. We're encouraging everyone to put down their e-cigarettes, their cigarettes, their cigars. We'd like for everyone to just don't smoke,
Right?
Don't vape,
don't start.
The most common symptoms. The most common symptoms, if once you stop smoking, you say you have cravings for cigarettes, you're feeling down or sad, you're having trouble sleeping, you feel irritable, on edge, or grouchy, having trouble thinking clearly and concentrating, and you're feeling restless and jumpy when you try to get off of the addiction of cigarettes. And vaping too, right?
That's true. Yes, if you're inhaling nicotine, yes, because it's called nicotine withdrawal. Those are the symptoms of nicotine withdrawal. But those are possible symptoms that we've seen. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen to you. I mean, I have a patient that just stopped smoking literally 2 weeks ago, and she put the cigarette down. She said, I didn't have a single symptom, and I was shocked, and she was shocked.
How long has she been smoking?
At least 10 years. I've been working with this patient for 10 years. 10 years.
Do you believe in the patch? The
Yes,
nicotine
I do.
patch?
I give them away, yes, because it's nicotine replacement. See, most people don't abuse nicotine patches. I have patients that have been on e-cigarettes using them for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. But most patients, once they use the nicotine replacement that the FDA approves of, they tend to stop wearing them and using them within a couple of weeks or months. And that's what we encourage them to do.
Okay.
So tomorrow's the Great American Smokeout. Please put down all inhalants. Is that right?
Yes, Guy, all inhalants.
Oh,
right. You still got time if you want to come to the studio and catch Tank, but you got to answer some questions from listeners right now. If you
she may come in a tank top
at 6'4", 6464.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr.
All righty.
Arthur.
Thank you,
Preach.
Doctor.